Hey, my little pumpkins, SD Wolf, welcome back to a Under a Rock Q&A video. I like to go in, sometimes we don't do it once a month, but I at least like to go in and cover some new questions that have been asked on their very, very active Discord channel. The devs are on there pretty regularly, kind of checking up and answering questions and posting screenshots and all that stuff. So I definitely would go give them a glance on their Discord if you're wanting to know a little more about this game. But first things first, let's get this out of the way, because this is like usually one of the first questions that's always asked, and it's like people don't read the Discord because they ask this like 100,000 times. We don't know when the game is going to be in early access. We don't know when if alpha testing is going to happen. We don't know anything about a beta. This game is still, as the recording of this video, we're August 9th, 2023. They're still very early on into the development of this game. So I can't give you any type of educated guess when you may be able to get your hands on this. So that is probably going to have to skip over a couple of those, kind of if you're going to follow along on the Discord. We're going to have to skip over those because we have no clue. Nobody does. So they're not even giving years, not giving dates, not giving quarters. We don't know. But we're going to be around for when they do open that up, and hopefully we get an invite, and I would test this right now. If I could. I even told Dan, I'm like, hey, send me a DNA, or send me your DNA. Send me an NDA. I will play this and try it and see what you guys have. So they definitely know that SDAN is very interested whenever this testing becomes available, but we just do not know. And if you're going to follow along, we'll start back on July 1st, right at Scallywag. So actually July 2nd. So if you're following along, we will scroll down to Scallywag's question: is Under a Rock planned for console release as well? And their answer is console versions are. It is in our roadmap, but only for Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. So we've got confirmation that they're not looking into bringing this to the Switch as of right now, or at least as of the beginning of July. But yes, they do want to try to get this out to the other two major consoles. Okay, Tori said release date updates. Will it be free? Nothing has been said about the price yet. Lucky says unsure. However, the team's previous projects have not been free. Also, game development isn't expensive, and if you don't earn money through your projects, but again, nothing is confirmed yet, so there's always that possibility. I wouldn't see the game as being free. I probably would see this as anywhere from $29.99 to $49.99. Just from the outset looking in, and kind of comparing it to other simulation games that are either in early access, or we've kind of been keeping the development up with, Kickstarters and stuff like that. I would suspect that Under a Rock would be anywhere from 29 to 49. I don't necessarily, with it being such a small indie development studio, I wouldn't see this coming at $59.99, but you never know. You never know what the future could hold, or what kind of backing they could get, or if a larger publisher tries to pick them up. You never know what the price could end up being. But do I think it's going to be free to play? No, not from what I've seen. I think this is definitely going to be I think it's going to be a well-funded project when they are ready to, kind of go down that avenue. But right now, you cannot monetarily contribute to Under a Rock. You can wishlist it on Steam, join the Discord, and just kind of, help promote their social media and get more eyes on the project. That is the biggest help you can do right now. D says hoping for like $20. Fatal says, is this game in early access? JS says nothing in life is free. How do you get early access? Oh, sorry, no worries, buddy. See, so I told you, like, we come across like 40 people a day that ask, is this in early access yet? Lucky Team Fluff says, if a lightning hits a tree, will the tree light on fire? What about the nearby tall grass? Will fire spread across this? Dan says currently no. When we visit lightning strike damages, we will look more into the system. So if your base, As far as development goes right now, if your base is beside a heavily forested area, jungle, pine forest, whatever, and lightning strikes around, you will not have to worry about the woods right adjacent to your settlement catching on fire as of right now. But Dan even says when they visit lightning strike damages, we will look more into the system, so that very well could be coming. Luisto, hello, how can I get early access to the game? I'm very excited about it. I have one question. How long till the demo is on Steam? So these guys are, read, guys, read. Look up a little higher, like scroll the page a little bit. We don't know when the game's coming out. On the Steam store page, I can see that the sound is going to be only in English for now, and that made me wonder, will the characters we play as have their own voices? Dan says there will be audible grunts, but no spoken language that we have planned so far. Kay says, I can't really actually see, when I'm in this mode, I can't see like everybody's full name. So pardon me if I can't pronounce your whole name. When will the next update on how the game is coming along will be? And Lucky said, unsure. However, we did get Dodo Hour will be a little late today, but that's always a good sign. It means they're super busy on something today, along with them having been busy and very secretive for a little while. So big things presumably in the works. And I actually, speaking to Lucky's point, I actually reached out to the devs on the Under a Rock main chat, and I was like, guys, you guys were really, really riding the hype train. What happened? Why did it die off so bad? You guys were showing us videos and pictures, and like Dan was tweeting like really, really awesome substantive stuff like every other day, and they just said that they thought they were spending a little too much time on social media. They had to pull back to focus more on the game. But as far as the developers go, B actually said they might have pulled back a little too much, and they're going to look into maybe kind of trying to get back into the flow of things a little bit and sharing a little more with us as the time goes on, because even they admitted, like, yeah, we might have silenced because they were rolling, and then all of a sudden, one weekend, we never heard anything again. So it's just kind of interesting to get that feedback. But and then like a day later, they gave us the awesome waterfall footage that you guys are seeing right now. So hopefully they're going to tease us a little more and kind of keep us in the loop a little bit, because things absolutely, like, pretty much once June hit, they fell off the face of the earth. We did not see anything hardly from them besides the little dodo breaks, which I told them was cool, but it's kind of getting a little old that's the only thing you guys are tweeting. Like I said, the dodo hunt is cute, but guys, we gotta have a little more substance. You can't show us all this awesomeness and then retreat back into your cave and not talk to us for 2 months. So hopefully they'll kind of get back in the flow of things and kind of get us drip feed us a little more building out. So Sasquani said, something just occurred to me and it worries me a bit. Does the introduction of community managers mean that the participation of the Nordic trolls on this Discord will be eradicated? One thing I see happen a lot when teams in the gaming industry grow is that the involvement of developers is basically gone. It's handed off to community managers. It usually starts slow with introducing some people to help us out and ends in radio silence by the devs, not the marketing a few months after. And what Sass is saying is, like, they bring on the community managers, but then everything goes quiet. The community managers don't talk to us. We really don't know what they do throughout the day. We don't really get much interaction from them. I totally understand this sentiment. A lot of times when you get a community managers, that usually means the devs are like tired of interacting with the community, and then it's like everything shuts down. Okay, give us your money, we're ready to sell our game. And I hope that Under a Rock doesn't go that way, because they were so different and special compared to other like smaller indie studios that I've dealt with or been involved with, and even big studios, not just indie. But I will say that the two community managers that they brought along are pretty active, and they're in here. They're pretty engaging. I think they're more of like, they're not there with the team. They're like a remote type role. So I'm sure they're pretty limited with even what they're told, and what they're allowed to tell us. But yeah, I hope that Under a Rock doesn't just displace this really cool like narrative and camaraderie that they've built over the last, well, over 2023, in place of kind of just shifting us off to community managers that that aren't really privy to any more information than we have, because then you kind of just get into a hyperbole situation where everybody on Discord is just basically we're all just guessing at each other, and no one knows what's going on. And excuse me, I hope that Under a Rock and Dan and the team and Seven and those guys actually still come here and hang out with us and interact with us, answer our questions, stuff like that. So let's see. One thing I see happen a lot is Blasey starts introducing people out to us and marking every few months, and it never has not once done the game itself any good, in my opinion. So far, I was very impressed with how Nordic Trolls is determined in their way of handling things. No extra funding, no investors, not being rushed into any release date. It reassured me that the player community is actually being seen and involved, and that Under a Rock is shared as a common vision. And most of all, that this Discord is not just another echo chamber. Currently, Under a Rock is my biggest hope, after just recently another game that I had high hopes for has been rushed out the window, oddly enough announced by a big company and not even by the creators themselves, although we began their journey with it is done when it's done approach, similar to Under a Rock. I hope this question is not taken the wrong way. It's just a once bitten, twice shy situation, asking for some reassurance to calm my nerves, if that makes any sense. Edit. Oh, and I would like to add that this is nothing personal against Violet and Threa. As I already said in one of the other chats, I'm very happy that they're here. Those are the two new community managers, because it means Nordic Trolls can focus on making the game. It would just be very sad if it would end if not seeing the yellow names as much or at all anymore. And I 100% back that sentiment. Violet and Threa are doing an awesome job, but nothing really substitutes actually hearing from the devs like we have been accustomed to since basically January, beginning of 2023, when I kind of got involved and followed the project more than just like passing, like, oh, okay, yeah, that looks cool. We'll check it out whenever it drops. This is one of the few projects that I check in on a daily basis. Dan and the producers, I've got their tweets on notification, so every time something is dropped, I am kind of on top of it. So I don't do that for a lot of games. I don't care enough to really, get that involved. There are a few right now, of course, Under a Rock, City Skylines 2. I'm always on the lookout for a new, any type of new Frontier developments, information, stuff like that. Enshrouded is on my radar right now. So really only ever keep up with a handful of projects at one time. Subject said, worry not. I've been here since July last year and can confirm this is a community the developers wish to keep, look after, and they communicate with us well. As to whether CMs being hired changes their availability to communicate with us, no doubt there, but I believe they'll always check in as much as they can. Subject said, not eradicated, but less often with the devs being here. Think of it as a good sign that the devs want to put more time into a product. So many of us are combusting from excitement to play. But yeah, we had a rare sighting of Liquid today telling us we missed some pesky dodos. Not rare, but you know what I mean. And then Dan said, we're always here watching, don't worry. But we have a lot to do on Under a Rock. We're always going to be here to answer your questions and make bee emojis that subject doesn't notice. And just to kind of give you guys some context, I'll go back to what I said, and then I will tell you what the devs responded to me. And that'll give you a little bit of context of what they were, kind of the bit we just came out of. Where is SDan? I said, this is back actually back a few days ago. Dun, dun, dun. Well, I know we're getting close here. Let's see. Well, you know what, guys? I don't actually see it anymore. Oh, no. Yeah, okay, here we go. I didn't go. Actually, this was back on July 30th. I said, well, the devs dropping back social involvement since basically June has kind of killed the hype a little bit for me. I was stoked whenever I got a damn Twitter ping because I knew it was going to be an awesome new animation or a quick 20-second video, but all that's kind of just gone now. And honestly, the dodo hunts are fine, but with them being like the only social strategy now, it's becoming a little boring and stale that's all we have to look forward to once a week. I guess we can look at it as a glass half full, and the devs' silence means they're really focusing on development. But pre-June, this game was a vibe, and now it's just kind of echo chambery here, and basically 2,800 people asking when is early access every 10 minutes without reading the 2,000 people before them asking the same question. Everything just feels a little bit off now in distance. Still keeping an eye on the game, but stopping the insanely fun social strategy in its tracks they had implemented wonderfully well for a year just seems like a head scratcher. I literally have private DMs from people I sent here that say, wow, man, I actually had a dev reply to me over there. This is totally different to what we're used to. But now it's turning into what we're used to. No disrespect at all, but just constructive observation from someone who's involved with many different communities and really find this one to be very unique and special, if you can keep it that way. And then one of the producers came in and actually said, it's good feedback though. We would love to come back with more shares. It's just that we were spending way too much time on social media for a long time, which severely hampered our game development progress. So we pulled back. We might have pulled back a little too much though. It's really hard finding the right balance, especially considering we love all the interaction with our community, ourselves, and it tends to get a little addictive at the cost of game development. And I said, oh man, Brack, how you worded that explains it perfectly. The pullback is completely understandable, but it just seemed like a harsh pullback from what we were used to. And he said, sorry. And then Krog said, I join SDan's sentiment. I went from one extreme to the other. I understand that there might not always be something concrete to share, and that putting too much time answering folks here can get detrimental to the amount of work done in the game. And then Subject said, I still have every bit of faith in the devs, even if they recluse under the development rock. And then Brock said, I believe it would have been really hard for us doing it gradually, but hopefully we can manage to find some kind of middle ground with the social interaction. And then Dan popped in a little bit lower than that and said, still here, just busy. So... yeah, but anyways, guys, I just kind of wanted to pop in a minute and chat with you and go over some of these questions. And yeah, just kind of keep Under a Rock on your radar. They're still here. They're still grinding away at the game. And I will be here to kind of roll out any new information that I catch on their Discord, or if they drop any cool videos that you guys might not have seen, that is where we kind of stand on this. So definitely give me a subscribe, and you can come back here and check out any new Under a Rock news we come across. My finger is always on the pulse of this game. I think it's very, very special, very, very fun game. And let me know if you have any questions down below. Of course, I don't know if you're going to say, like, when's early access coming out? We can't answer that. But, you know, yeah, just let me know. And hopefully I will catch you guys in the next video. So, yeah, don't forget to smash that like button if you end up enjoying this. And I will catch you in the next one. See ya.